Hi guys, and I'm back with another video. Sorry I haven't been around for ages, except these videos take a while to make and I like to have stuff to show you when I make them, which today I do and I hope you like it. I've been working on the fortress and I've just about done that. I'm just up to the instruction stage, so here you can see all the prints I've been working on, so that's nearly done. I'm also going to be talking about some of the new rules in Freeplanes as well, just to keep you up to date there, and I'm also going to be talking about Patron 2. Hi guys, and welcome to my bedroom, and here is the Freeplanes Fortress. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not doing too bad at the moment. It's taken me ages to get up to this point. So as you can see, it's all modular, so you can put it together how you want. All the textures match up. In fact, actually, that was a bit of a learning curve. As you can see, you could do this. That's a 45-degree turn. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There's your 90-degree turn. Like I was saying about textures, all the textures match up, so it doesn't matter how you put it. Here's one of the older models when I tried it. So if we just move you out for 2 seconds. So that was one of the old ones, and I didn't realise about the textures. I thought I could get away with it, but it looks pretty, I don't know if you can see, it looks pretty rubbish. Anyway, going back to the 90-degree turn. I suppose this is the most impressive one I've built up so far. There is going to be a tower, and there's also going to be the portcullis or the fortress gate. But this is where I'm up to at the moment. I'll explain why in a few minutes. So yeah, you've got 2 different wall supports. You've got 3 different facings for the wall facing and turret facing. You've got 3 different of them as well. You can see this is an older model, but you get the general idea. There are your turret facings, and there is your different wall support there. So you've got some options, so you can customise your castle. If you're wondering what about reversing it, so you can have the model inverted instead, so if you wanted it to have it like that, there is the turret options to build them there instead, so it's completely reversible, and vice versa, and likewise here too there would be the turret options to build it there as well. So this has kept me out of mischief for a long time, this model. To give you a good sense of scale, I've got a Skeleton Warrior 25mm. He's from Games Workshop, and yeah, so he's an Alancian guard from Freeplanes, my game, and he's 15mm. I've done some more options with it, so you've got some doors here you can either stick on, or you'll get as part of a printing option, so you can add them on if you want later on when you're printing it out, so it would come out as one solid thing rather than sticking it on. You can do that with layers in PDF, so that's your 15mm door. These are your ladders. Now my ladders are a bit floppy, to be honest with you, and I think I'm going to make them 3-dimensional, but they look like decent siege ladders anyway. Or half, I mean, I would never siege a bloody wall with that. I mean, look at that, you'd be... Anyway, so that's your 15mm ladder there. As for the structure inside, they're pretty robust things really, these walls, because I've given them all extra support inside, because it's not just for, sure, it's for gaming, and they've got to survive, an actual battle being moved around and played with and all this, that and the other. So here is my old Slan model, and he's pretty heavy because he's got rocks. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just be careful because I don't want to drop him. So as you can see, it's a pretty robust model. It's not flimsy at all, and that's because of the extra wall supports. Inside these models there is also paperweights, and I found this is the best way of actually holding the models together with gravity. So in there's actually 6 of these little paperweights, and they're just filled with old pennies. And it just basically holds itself together. Now the reason why I've sort of fallen behind my schedule is because of this here. Yeah, well anyway, so yeah, all these are the instructions for building up this model here, and this isn't even finished, and you can see just piles and piles of paper with little 3D models I need to scan in, well I need to ink up. I call it inking up anyway. Then inking up like that one there, so I've got to draw them, got to rub them out and then ink them up. and then I've got to scan them in, and then I've got to straight line it, as I call it. I've got to tidy up with the lines, so get rid of the hand drawn and do actual straight lines using Photoshop. So I've got to do all that, and that's what's taking me a long time. Otherwise I would have built the entire thing and I'd be just working out the little twerks in it, or the little bugs in it. But I can honestly say, apart from getting the odd texture the wrong way around, everything's fitting together quite nicely. I'm very impressed with how it's just all worked out, especially with these textures here, how they just, they fit together. Other people seen it, they're quite pleased with it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how things are going. It's just slower than I expected, but it's always like that. It never goes as quick as I would like. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for looking at my model, and I will see you later.
The new rules, right? I'm not going to spend forever talking about this because there's too many to mention, and the rules I am going to talk about I've already talked about in a blog post, which I'll leave a link to down below. Here is the old stat line, and the best way to tell you about these new rules I'm going to talk about is talking you through the new and improved stat line. As you can see, I've streamlined it, and the big differences are the damage stat and the saves. If we start with the saves first, or the different parts of the save, we'll start with this black circle which represents a piece's toughness, and this works exactly the same as before. You just roll over that to wound your target. So here you'd have to roll a 4, 5 and a 6 on a d6 to wound that target, and that's exactly the same as before. The next part of a piece's save is their resistance, and this soaks up damage or enemy save modifiers. So if an enemy had a save modifier of -2 toughness and I had a resistance of 2, I would soak up all that modifier, and that enemy would just have to roll over my normal toughness save to wound me, and that's how resistance works. The next part of a piece's save is their magic, and it's represented here by this white circle, and this works like a buffer to your toughness. So your toughness can never become lower than your piece's magic value. So if you have a toughness 3 and a magic value of 3, that toughness can never be lowered any further down than 3, and that's how magic works. The last part of a piece's save is their agility. Now agility is always represented by the blue circle. Now agility works down a piece's save because it dodges the most powerful but slower attacks from an enemy. So if you have an agility 1, you would dodge 6s. If you have an agility 2, you would dodge 5 and 6s, and so on until you work all the way down the dice. Right then, this brings me conveniently on to damage, and as I explain damage, you'll start to understand why agility works down the save. All pieces have a damage range, usually a 1, but it can be higher. A dragon, for instance, has a damage range of 1 to 4. And how damage works is it tells you how many points of damage you can do upon a piece. So it works like this: for each point you roll over a piece is saved, that's what you do in damage up to your damage range. So if you only do 1 damage and you roll 3 places over, you'll only do 1 damage. But if you do 1 to 3 and you roll 3 places over a piece is saved, then you'll do 3 points of damage. And this is why agility works in the way that it does, because the more powerful attacks are usually the more slower attacks, and that is why agility works down the save. So slower, more sluggish creatures would get hit, but the faster, more agile creatures would avoid those blows, and that is why agility works down the save. And I hope that makes that system clearer, and that's basically the biggest updates in the game so far. So when's it all ready? Well, as you can see, the fortress is all but done. I just have my instructions to work through. So I can see that taking about maybe 2 to 3 months to be done. As for the main rules and the Halancian list, they are done. They just need a little bit of conceptual art adding, cleaning up, and someone checking through it for spelling and grammar, but they are done. So I'm hoping to have them out in a again 2 to 3, maybe 4 months, hopefully. As for the orcs and the elves, they're going to be completely overhauled, so I don't know when they're going to be ready, but hopefully not too long afterwards, because I won't have other things to work on once the main rules and everything else is out. All the new army lists are going to have new units. The Alancians are going to be released with the Iron Fists, the Marshals, the Grand Riders, and Pikemen, but their models aren't going to be ready until a while afterwards, until I get a chance to actually work on them. And very, very lastly, I have my very own Patreon account, and I've got my very first patron, who is Luciano Marina. Now, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm very, very sorry, but I just want to say thank you ever so much for supporting me. It gives me a huge confidence boost to know that someone out there is willing to financially back me, and I hope you are the first of many. If anybody else wants to support me on Patreon, that would be great, because at the end of the day, Free Planes is free at the point of use, so basically you go onto my site, you download my rules, or you can download my figures and do whatever you want with them, and it all comes out of my pocket because I pay for the ink, the card, and and the hosting, and I'm not exactly loaded at the moment. So yeah, any financial support would be greatly appreciated, and it all just goes back into developing the game and making it better for everyone anyway. I will say this though, even though Free Planes is largely going to remain free, i.e. the figures and the rules are going to be free, I'm going to have to sell the Fortress, because at the moment I need the money. But Patreon members and Inner Circle members, because they support me, those guys are going to get it for free. And this brings me to the end of my video. Guys, I'm going to keep this channel going. I'm going to keep on making videos, because Free Planes at the end of the day is a visual product, and I like to show you what I'm doing, and I enjoy making videos. It's just they take so long to make, and that's time I could be spending, I don't know, rule writing, game testing, designing new models, and all the rest of it to do with Free Planes. So I'm going to keep the number of videos down to a minimum. What I do every so often, much more frequently, is write blog posts. So I'll leave a link below to my blog in case you want to keep up to date that way. Okay then guys, right, thank you for watching my video. Take care and have a lovely day.